Hey film lovers and ASMR friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Ari. I'm an independent filmmaker and film enthusiast, and today we'll be talking about the movies. So I have this book, The Movies of the 90s, and I thought what we would do today is a flip through of this book, and I'll talk about the movies as I go through them. I'm going to do a soft-spoken voice today, and I hope you enjoy the video. So let's see what's inside this book. Movies of the 90s. I'm gonna flip ahead a little bit. Movies of the 90s. Table of contents. It starts with the year 1991 and goes through the year 2000. I don't know what happened to the year 1990. It's too bad. There's some good movies in the year 1990, but for some reason it starts with the year 1991. So let's see what's inside and let's see what the first movie is. Cape Fear, directed by Martin Scorsese. This is one of the most entertaining thrillers you're gonna ever see. And it's still one of Martin Scorsese's minor works, which says a lot about his filmography, because this film is not really comparable to his other works, his more personal films. It's just a studio film, a thriller. It has an amazing performance by Robert De Niro, and you should all check it out. It is a great thriller. It is very entertaining. And yeah. JFK by Oliver Stone. This is one of the best films of the 90s, JFK. Raise the Red Lantern by Zhang Yimou, another beautiful film. My Own Private Idaho by Gus Van Sant. This is one of my favorite movies of the 1990s. Gus Van Sant, River Phoenix, and Keanu Reeves star in this film. There's Keanu. I'm gonna move this a little bit down so you can see it. Boys in the Hood, great movie by John Singleton, starring Ice Cube, Cuba Gooding Jr., Lawrence Fishburne. Amazing performance by Lawrence Fishburne. Point Break. This is a fun movie, just an entertainment film from the 90s. Keanu Reeves, Patrick Swayze. Point Break makes those of us who don't spend our lives searching for the ultimate physical rush feel like second-class citizens. The film turns reckless, athletic valor into a new form of aristocracy. The Beautiful Troublemaker, Jacques Rivette. Actually, this film, not only is this film a masterpiece, but it's like an ASMR film. If you like ASMR, I highly recommend this film because there are so many triggers with the paintbrush and all of his tools when he's creating the pictures. This is an ASMR film right here, The Beautiful Troublemaker. I highly recommend this film. Thelma and Louise, Ridley Scott. Classic. Who can forget this film? Delicatessen. This is a weird movie, Delicatessen, but it's very interesting and very unique. One of a kind film, Delicatessen. Now we're into a classic. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, James Cameron, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, Edward Furlong. A record budget. After Terminator 2, Hollywood will have to think twice about making still another car chase movie. Interesting. The Lovers on the Bridge. I haven't seen this film. Oh, Basic Instinct, a classic. I mean, come on. It doesn't get more iconic than this. Sharon Stone, Michael Douglas. I can't say what's written there. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm not going to say what's written there. Basic Instinct is one of Paul Verhoeven's most entertaining movies. In Hollywood, it's all down to nerve, not originality. Interesting. Unforgiven, one of my favorite movies, Unforgiven by director Clint Eastwood, one of the great westerns of all time. Gene Hackman stars in this film as well, alongside Morgan Freeman. This is a masterpiece, Unforgiven. Unforgiven is a masterpiece. Look at that shot. Who can forget this scene at the end in the rain? Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, David Lynch. Very few directors are as unique and singular as David Lynch. The Lawnmower Man. Somehow, I feel like this movie doesn't really hold up. But it is fun. The Lawnmower Man. The Player by Robert Altman. This is an amazing film about Hollywood and LA. It's a great LA movie. Tim Robbins in a stellar cast. There's an all-star cast in this film. The Player is as good of a movie about Hollywood as you're gonna see. It's funny and it's disturbing at the same time. A Few Good Men. Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson. Arizona Dream. I haven't seen that film. Has anybody seen this film, Arizona Dream? Tell me what you think if you've seen it. I like the cast. Bad Lieutenant. Harvey Keitel. Batman Returns. Before the Christopher Nolan Batman films, there was the Tim Burton Batman films. I guess I'm tired of wearing masks. This is an outlandish film. Look at this shot. Danny DeVito as the Penguin. Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. Excellent performance. Jurassic Park. This is the movie that made me want to make movies. Jurassic Park. I saw this as a kid, and I decided I wanted to direct movies for a living. This was the movie that did it for me, Jurassic Park. What can you say about this film? It is an extraordinary piece of pop art. It is an incredible thriller, Spielberg plays like a virtuoso on the keys of the visual arts industry. He takes our longing for the miraculous and then makes the miraculous accessible to people like you and me. Look at these shots from Jurassic Park. One of the great entertainment films of all time. Who can forget this scene in the kitchen? The raptors. Four Weddings and a Funeral. Raining Stones. Here's a film I haven't seen. Have you seen Raining Stones? Philadelphia, classic film with Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington. Jonathan Demme directed this film. Groundhog Day. Bill Murray, filmed by Harold Ramis. This is one of the greatest comedies of all time, Groundhog Day. I can watch this film every year. It never gets old. In the Line of Fire. Pretty good movie. It's a good film. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember enjoying this film a lot back in the day. Three Colors Blue. Now we're talking about a masterpiece. Now we're talking about a masterpiece. The Three Colors trilogy is incredible, and Blue is one of the best films you're going to see from the 1990s. Three Colors Blue. Okay, Schindler's List. One of the 10 greatest movies of all time is Schindler's List. This is a stunning film. By Steven Spielberg. Black and white photography is amazing in this film. Liam Neeson is the lead character. He's incredible. This is a very moving film. It's hard to watch. It's very violent, but it's a masterpiece. Perfect World with Kevin Costner. The Firm. The Firm is a good film. Kind of underrated, actually, in Tom Cruise's filmography. The Firm has got a great Tom Cruise performance. Farewell, My Concubine. Look at that shot. The Piano. One of the signature films of the 1990s. Jane Campion. Highly recommend this film. It's on the Criterion Collection. Wow, this film is great. The Fugitive. Andrew Davis's thriller. Harrison Ford. Tommy Lee Jones. Great film. Great film. Shortcuts. Robert Altman again. This is an ensemble drama, and it is incredible. It's a very, very powerful movie. Forrest Gump. Again, one of the signature movies of the 90s. Tom Hanks. Robert Zemeckis film. Great movie. It still holds up. Chungking Express by Wong Kar-wai. Now we're talking about one of my favorite movies of all time, Chungking Express. If you haven't seen this film, I highly, highly recommend it. Look at that shot. Tony Leung. Tony Leung is one of the greatest actors of the modern era. It's beautiful, simple, funny, and smart. I wish more films were like that. Leon the Professional by Luc Besson, starring Jean Reno, Natalie Portman. This is the movie that started Natalie Portman's career. No women, no kids, that's the rule. It's a hitman movie. There's Natalie Portman. I think she was 12 years old when she did this film. Ed Wood by Tim Burton, starring Johnny Depp. Underrated film. The Shawshank Redemption. I think this is the highest rated film on IMDb. I think this film has the highest rating on IMDb. Natural Born Killers by Oliver Stone. Crazy movie. Crazy, crazy movie. There they are. Interview with the Vampire. Tom Cruise again. Actually, this might be one of his most underrated performances. Cruise is excellent in this film. Brad Pitt as well. There's Cruise. Kirsten Dunst as a young child. Pulp Fiction. Uma Thurman, John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson. This is the defining movie of the 1990s. Pulp Fiction was the defining movie of the 1990s by Quentin Tarantino. There it is. Two of your lead characters. Who can forget that scene? Incredible. Disclosure. I like this film. Some people really hate it, but I liked it. Disclosure. Barry Levinson film. Demi Moore is really good in this film. Michael Douglas. Oh, a classic. Speed. Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. This is one of the best action movies of the 90s. This is one of the best action movies of the 90s. If you like action films, Speed is an absolute classic. The Lion King, one of Disney's best films. Interesting to see that included in this book. This is probably the best Disney movie of all time, isn't it? The Lion King. True Lies, James Cameron, with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis. Does this film hold up? It's got some issues actually, but it's a very entertaining film. Apollo 13, Ron Howard film with Tom Hanks. You'll see that Tom Hanks shows up a lot in this book because he made so many signature movies of the 1990s. Apollo 13 is great. It's a great film. Hate. This is a masterpiece. This is a French film. This is a masterpiece. Check out that shot. Is this on Criterion also? I think this is on the Criterion Collection as well. This is one of the most realistic, intense films of the 1990s. Braveheart. It's a good movie. Babe. Seven. Seven is one of the most disturbing films I've ever seen. I've seen it only once, and that's all that I'm gonna do. Seven is a highly disturbing film, very hard to watch. Grotesque, but the ending is incredible. Who can forget the ending of Seven? Dead Man Walking. This is a good movie by Tim Robbins. Toy Story. I think Toy Story was the first Pixar film, and one of the best, still to this day. One of the best Pixar films, Toy Story. Kids. I don't know about this film. Another disturbing film, Kids. 12 Monkeys by Terry Gilliam. Check that shot out. One of the best sci-fi films of the 1990s with Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt is extraordinary in this film. I think he was nominated for an Oscar, actually. Oh, Casino. Casino is a masterpiece by Martin Scorsese, a 3-hour epic. This is top tier Scorsese. Scorsese is my favorite director of all time. This is top tier Martin Scorsese. Casino. I think it's even better than Goodfellas, to be honest. Hot take. It's better than Goodfellas. Casino. Dead Man by Jim Jarmusch. This is one of the most underrated films of the 1990s. That weapon will replace your tongue. You will learn to speak through it, and your poetry will now be written with blood. Sort of an avant-garde western with Johnny Depp. Very strange film, but highly recommended. Sense and Sensibility. Ang Lee. Leaving Las Vegas. What can you say? This is one of the great films of the 90s. Nicolas Cage won an Oscar for this film. Very deserving. Highly recommend Leaving Las Vegas. Intense drama. Oh, Heat. Heat is one of my favorite movies of all time. Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. A film by Michael Mann. Who can forget this scene? This is iconic. Two legendary actors meeting. Two legendary actors colliding. Great scene, great movie. One of the most intense action sequences of all time right here. Rumble in the Bronx. Jackie Chan. If you like martial arts films, this is a really entertaining martial arts film with amazing stunts. He does all his own stunts, Jackie Chan. There he is. He does all his own stunts. And he's incredible. Mission Impossible, of course, the first Mission Impossible by director Brian De Palma. Great movie. Started a franchise, but I would say this is still the first one. I'm actually going to do probably a deep dive into the Mission Impossible franchise, and I'm going to rank all of the films. But, spoiler, this is the best one. 1996. Jean Reno, again from The Professional, Ving Rhames. Great movie. Shall We Dance? Very underrated. Japanese film. This is a very charming movie. It's funny, it's charming, it's sweet. It's well worth your time. Muhammad Ali. From Dusk Till Dawn, the Robert Rodriguez, Quentin Tarantino vampire film. Salma Hayek, iconic scene. Trainspotting by Danny Boyle. I just talked about The Beach in my first video, one of his most underrated films. Trainspotting is his signature film. Mars Attacks. Guilty pleasure. Mars Attacks. Very entertaining movie. But it's not for everyone. It's a very weird movie. Incredible cast. Alright, Romeo and Juliet. Baz Luhrmann, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Claire Danes. This is a classic. This is absolutely a classic. The Language of Shakespeare, the acting of Quentin Tarantino. Shakespeare by way of MTV. Lost Highway by David Lynch, another masterpiece. Dark, mysterious, edgy movie. Alright, so I think I'm going to close it off here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.